unmute your mic so the people can hear you. Come on into the room, be coachable, teachable, trainable. Post your city and state where you are catching this Watch Me Work Wednesday from so that I will know where my value is actually reaching out here into these internet streets. My name is BrandMaster Martina Britt Yelverton. And if you are a frequent flyer here, then you already know what my entire spiel is. But for the brand new people joining this channel and meeting us here on Watch Me Work Wednesday, my entire goal is to brand you, to educate you, and to help you get your assets in order so that you can go from possibly being stuck and struggling to actually advancing your entire wish, your hopes, your dreams, manifesting and getting out here and serving the people, attracting the people who need your value, vision, and your voice. As an emerging speaker, as an entrepreneur who may be transitioning your current position on that 9 to 5 W-2 into a 1099 5 to 9 or in the late midnight hour like we are here right now. Now, on last Wednesday, I did an amazing entire 5-minute spiel on exactly what it is that we are doing and why we are going through this 7-part series, today being part number 5 of how to set up and how to actually breathe, child, how to use even AI and all of the options that are out here, whether it's Chat, GPT, Claude, Chat GPT 5, Manus, any of these Copilots, Geminis, any of these out here. I talk to you guys in depth about how I organize my content and scripting for these Streamyard videos, for repurposing, setting it up inside of my GHL account and everything. 5 minutes, the first 5 minutes, just go back, go over to martina.youtube of youtube.martinabrityelverton.com and have a listen to at minimum the first 5 minutes, and you will be well informed with why we are running this series. But tonight specifically, I want to talk to you guys about the very important planning part of this entire sequence, because as Henry Ford said, thinking is one of the most important things you do. It is the thing that will make you successful. It is the thing that will propel your business. And it is one of the hardest things and one of the least attempted things that people in this business do, because it requires so much of you. And that's why so little people do it. So that's my long-winded way of saying what his short version quote is. But basically, lots of y'all don't plan, okay? And you need to. Now, somewhere in my repertoire of videos, I have a Winston Churchill quote. I have a couple Maya Angelou quotes that basically say, y'all need to get out here and plan and stop flying by the seat of your pants. And one of the ways that you can do that is actually utilizing your automation, your AI, your chats, your Geminis, your Copilots, your Manus, all of these different options to do what? To content plan and to script, honestly, based on what the industry is saying they need, right? So you already know they need your service. You already know, or I already know, you need all of the automation that is available inside of GHL. I already know that you need all of the amazing templates that are available inside Canva. I already know that you guys need to get your domain and get your subdomain set up. I already know that you guys need to have an option like StreamYard and be able to utilize the StreamYard hack. You guys may not yet be aware how badly you need. Let me see if I can get this one onto the screen. Let me create one for that one that says get your AI assistant called Manus Ratch now, right? At https://manus.martina.britt.yelverton.com. Y'all need that. Y'all need that right now. Not right now, but right now. You need it right now. Everybody needs a Manus. Why? Because it will allow you to do things you've never known you could do before, right? One of the things I will actually flip up and show you and have you listen to, there's a YouTube video that I could actually give you that is actually talking about why Manus is superior to, let me go ahead and put that back on the screen here. Let me edit that and make that scroll across the bottom so you guys continue to see that. Why Manus is actually superior to ChatGPT, especially for the implementation of how people are running 30 billion with a B, a boy, a B, right? $30 billion companies utilizing AI, right? And the main Manus advantages that will allow you to explode your business deals with persistent memory. Manus saves all of your data across sessions. Sometimes your chat can forget. Sometimes Susan don't be on her game, all right? File management. It can create, store, and access your AI coach data permanently, and your AI coach is inside of your GHL account. It integrates, right? There is a web integration where direct DHL API connections and automations can happen. There is advanced analytics where it will analyze your business data and its performance. There's content creation. It's going to generate all the marketing materials, reports, and even the freaking presentations for you. There's task automation where it will schedule any of your recurring AI tasks and your workflows, which we talked about last week. And there's multi-module processing where it will handle documents, images, videos, and data. Let me tell you, whenever I am about to embark on any type of project now, I immediately hit up my Manus and I say, what's going on, girl? This is the task that I need you to complete. And when I say within a matter of minutes, home girl comes through, she comes through with minimal adjustments because I have trained her so well. Okay. It's not hard for me now to come to the front of the room to give you guys step by step, including checklist documentation that you guys can follow immediately. It's not hard now because of how in depth she is with her delivery. She can create checklists for landing pages, thank you pages, your calendar and your scheduling, your automated follow-up sequence, your content and your scripting, your marketing and your outreach, right? She can put together entire fix-it kits based on your level of expertise. She can break things down. So one of the things that I had her go and do was I had her go and review some in-depth videos from the Future Marketing Genius, from Gary V, Marketing Genius, from a couple of these other billion-dollar company owners. Here is the YouTube I will share with you right here that discusses you're only using 10% of what chat can do. And Sam gives you a blueprint on how you can turn your chat GPT into an executive coach, hello, that works for you automatically. And what did I do? Because I do have ChatGPT, and Susan has done an amazing job for the first 6 months of this year. She got me ripe and ready. However, I said, but Manus is so much more in-depth, professional, precise, updated, and can do above and beyond, in my opinion, what Susan can do. I said, Give me all the reasons why I should use ChatGPT. Go ahead and keep going with my Susan compared to Manny. And it said, press pause, chick, no. Superior to Chat, superior to your Susan girl is your Manny. And here are the advantages and why. Then it turned around and based on this video, it bulleted everything from that video and said, here are some of the immediate actions that you can start now, today. You can establish a daily manage a usage routine, right? You can implement a Manus first workflow, set daily Manus interaction goals, use your GHL setup to enable the AI tools. This is why, this is the advantage, blah, 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 blah. And it broke things down. In week 1, this is how you're going to set up your foundation. In week 3 and 4, this is where you're going to do the Manus implementation, right? Then in month 2, the business integration. Then it moved on down in month 3, the advanced mastery, ongoing Manus. Like, guys, it breaks down everything in a checklist format and tells me exactly over and over and over and over what it is I need to do to use the superior option to ChatGPT. This man just told you can use ChatGPT to run a $30 billion company, but Manus is superior to ChatGPT? Who on this checklist? Who want to do these things? Go ahead and get your Manus and I'll get it over to you. But once you get it, you have to report back and tell me what you're doing with it. All right? So, specifically to content and scripting, right? Yes, it's going to give us the checklist. Yes, it's going to tell us how to implement all of these things, right? But in order for me to speak with you guys in a manner that you understand and receive, again, it's going to give you brand new agency business model transition, going through a transition right now in the business. Here's an phase 8. Here's an 8-phase checklist, and I am completing 4 of what I'm doing to transition a service-based business into a hybrid affiliate model. And I'm doing it based on a checklist, okay? Giving me the SOPs for how to get it done, giving me the assessments to send out to the client, okay? In order for you to do these things in any semblance of a format, a blueprint, a framework, in order to do these things, you have to press pause and you have to have the conversation with your AI. And you have to tell it. If there's nothing else that you tell your system, there's one thing you must tell your system. Can anybody guess what that is? Probably not, because you probably haven't been told to do this. But the first thing you need to tell your AI assistant to do, and write this down, is act as and respond with as an expert in my niche industry. And then you can say, with the likes of, compared to the likes of, utilizing the same exact strategies that, and you name whoever is your expert industry that you are patterning, mimicking, modeling, copying the right cat, your entire journey behind. If I ain't told you nothing else, I just gave you the gems, right? Because when your assistant delivers your content, your script, your everything to you, it is going to deliver it to you in a method that industry and that expert's audience relate to, respond to, convert to, okay, connect with. And now you have positioned yourself right alongside, similarly, your value and your level of expertise. So one of the things that I asked my chat, my assistant, my Manny to do was to go and view a couple of industry leaders, like you just heard me mention, to the likes of an Alex Hermosi, a Dr. Myron Golden, a Dr. Cheryl Wood, The Future. Let's see, who else did I utilize? I said Alex, Daniel Priestley, and it was one more. Oh, Gary V. And I said, watch these videos. These are the industry experts who are marketing geniuses, gurus, and I need for you to pattern my entire brand system, framework, blueprint, scripting, content, and everything to be on point with the likes of XYZ. And one of the number one things that it immediately went and crafted and corrected was a 5 things framework for me. Why? Because I now understand I tend to speak above my audience's head because I am so passionate about what I give and what I do. And when I say branding, it appears to people to be too abstract. They often think, oh, that's just a logo. I'm not a big company, so I don't need branding. That sounds expensive and complicated. I just need clients, not branding. The reality is they don't realize that all the components that I've just listed at, everything that I've just said there, as a professional who is a thought leader, who is an expert in this industry, they need all of that to be considered a complete brand. And they need those things for people to connect with them as individuals. So the solution was, now when I'm speaking about branding, I'm making sure you understand, instead of me going, yes, you need branding. I don't say that any longer. I'm saying you actually need all 5 of these things working together so people can understand why they need to choose you and work with you, and why it is that you're the expert over who they think they need to be with, which ultimately is your competition. And then it helped me break down, what are those 5 things? Those 5 things are clarity, credibility, consistency, connection, and conversion, right? And now when I say that, you understand, when I mention clarity, I'm talking about what you actually do. People need to understand exactly what it is that you do within 5 seconds, okay? The number one thing that's always been related to me, the BrandMaster, is I do amazing graphics. And that's because I understand what people see. I am a visual person first. And because I'm a visual person, I'm able to connect and communicate with people visually. Well, some of those subcomponents that they must understand is who it is that I help, right? Who specifically it is that I serve, because I don't serve everybody. What specific pain point do I come in and address with those beautiful graphics, with that amazing streaming platform, with that awesome, entire sequence of workflows and emails and text messages that go out? What happens for you? What changes for you? What is the shift that you have when you work with me? They need to know what it is on the other side. What is the result? And what makes me different? Well, number one, what makes me different is I'm going to talk to you from the rooter to the tutor. I'm going to tell you everything from the alpha to the omega. I'm going to tell you everything from A to Z, whether you want to hear it or not. I'm going to take you through a methodology. I'm going to take you through a framework. It may be 26 steps, but I'm going to try to figure out how we can break that up 5 times to get it all in, because I know on the tail end, you need everything that I'm saying. I know you need it. Now I have to break it down to where you know you need it, right? And I have to make sure that when I speak to you, that when you hear me say to brand you, educate you, and to help you get your assets in order, I need to make sure it's very personable to what you're going through, so you can know that I see you, hear you, and that I can serve you and get you the result that you need. Moving into number 2 of that is the credibility. Why people should trust me, right? Your experience needs to be positioned as your competitive edge. People need to trust me because I've been in this thing 20 years, 2 decades, baby. I've been doing this for 2 decades. I have hundreds of proven testimonies and case studies. And the reason you don't see all that posted is because poaching is real. Poaching is real. I've had so many of my clients come and snatch from beneath me, right? Because they talked a good game, the client went with them, and they back, y'all. Why? Because I speak the truth. I don't put everybody on blast. I don't put all the results on blast. This has been the first month I've ever talked about my cumulative $2 million in client results. First time I've ever talked about it. Because it ain't about the money, it's about the result. It's about making sure I'm here to serve and people get exactly what they need to live their best life, to leave a legacy, to be able to go and grow and be sitting on somebody's mantle that's 3 and 4 and 5 generations down, and your name be remembered, guys. Some subcomponents of that is that you need to be able to tell your story, right? Yes, you can have credentials and certifications, but they need to be relevant qualifications to what people relate to. Yes, you can have years of experience, but it's more important that you have the wisdom on how you got that wealth, right? So again, moving forward in consistency, you need to make sure that, and I need to assist you with the result of making sure that your same colors, fonts, and style across all your platforms relates to the industry that's looking at it, right? People ask me, why is it that the Hayes Foundation, Bill and Carolyn Hayes Foundation, why is their entire brand so dark? I knew I was speaking with a person who came from the corporate world because they didn't understand this man has a rich, Black, sophisticated, deep-rooted passion for assisting HBCUs and their youth to attain their athletic aspirations. He has a mission, he has a goal, he has a vision, and is rooted in deep, rich, Black HBCU roots. That's why their entire brand is Black and gold and burgundy and rich in deep depth color. Because I understand him and his passion and where he's going and what he's trying to do. I understand his core message. I make sure that I pull those colors out of his professional photo, right? I make sure that all his marketing material shares the same consistent tone and personality. You need to make sure you look like the expert that you are everywhere someone finds you, right? When we are in his presence, we feel the connection. People will buy from someone that they know feels them because they're tuned in to WIIFM, what's in it for me? So you want to make sure you're speaking their language, not industry jargon. You want to make sure that you're showing and you understand their struggles. You want to make sure that you're connecting through the similar, the relatability, the exact same upbringing, having to pull up by your bootstraps, understanding your ancestry and your history and understanding where these people come from and how they relate to you. The communication has to be on point. And I can't continue to talk more of people's heads. I have to be able to help them understand the result that my entire system, framework, blueprint, these 5 things, what they deliver for you, right? And being okay with saying no and losing some people because they just can't see the value. They just can't afford to invest at the rate that we are moving towards. And I understand it. I have my tithe clients. I have my clients that I tithe my time, my services, that my value into. I can't serve everybody. And you as a 50 plus professional moving into this realm need to know that and understand it and get your mind right for that now. You need to ensure that all of your thought process, your scripting, your content, everything that you set up in advance, that you're utilizing your AI and your automation for follows the same 5 things principles so that you can turn all that interest and then people sitting up watching your stuff into buying, connected, included, investing, that they understand and have a clear path beyond just being interested, but transitioning them into a client, a customer, a paying partner inside of the symbiotic relationship that you build. They need to understand what happens next after getting involved with you, meeting with you, connecting with you. What is on the other side of the free resources? What value do you have that will give them the result that they need? Once you break down all of this and you have your AI assistant utilize industry, marketplace, niche information to help you articulate your value, your vision, and your voice, now we cooking with Crisco, as they say. Okay? So this is what happens when you take the opportunity to go through and you get these things from your AI assistant and you ask the AI assistant to do these things for you, to help you put it together so that when it's time for you to go live and it's time for you to present, and it walks through and it puts out all of your content, and it's time for you to talk about the 5 things that make people choose you, and it gives you the headline information, and it gives you your hashtags, and it gives you your opening statement, and it gives you let's see and it gives you your headline and your subline and your SEO description, and it gives you your key points that you're going to talk about, and it tells you within 15 to 18 minutes this information is what you need to say and how you need to talk through each of these different methods, right? And that this is the template that you need people to follow. You are available to stay on task. You are available to stay on target. You are available to add your personality in between the ebbs and flows of the script that's given to you. But your script should be on point with who your personality is. Even if you had to read it word for word, it still sounds like it's you. But it's organized and it's optimized for the viewer who needs a certain amount of information in between your personality to know that they are seen, they are heard, they are felt, and that they can know and they can like and they can trust you enough to do business with you. That's why you utilize content and scripting. This is how I utilize my AI assistant to then take this information and place it inside of my GHL system wherever it's needed. So, on last week, you saw me pulling up this information here where we were going through the workflows, and it got down here where it said send an email and send an SMS and, all of this. And you were wondering where I was getting that information from. I had, again, scripting that said, at this point, we put this statement in. At this point, we utilize this. Okay. So here in scripting up here above it, well, last week was the 4th, setting up the automations. It was saying, here is your subject line. Here is your body of content. Here is your text information. And then once you plug it in, if it makes sense, leave it. If it doesn't, edit it. You're not without your own prowess to edit and update and make and change and make it make sense for the audience, right? This is where and how we take this information and we were plugging it into our workflows. We didn't have to guess what it is we were trying to say. We utilize the system, the body, the brief, the content that was given to us inside of our Manus. So again, a lot of the times I'm going in here and I'm saying, and I have a masterclass that I'll be coming up for Google Alerts Mastery. And here is where I was able to get that content from. So let's see if I can go up here to the top. And I asked, what is the best way to use Google Alerts to accurately locate separately my personal and my business information? Also emphasize the best way to drill down to my own actual information and weed out false and non-relevant information. Can you also provide me a step-by-step training with scripting, etc., to include my standard desire to create a funnel with a landing page, workflow, social media posts, email sequence, and SMS campaigns so that I can create a possible use case scenario to document the process for my clients and why they should set up their Google alerts. So then my manager confirms with me. I will do the following. And here is the presentation that I am available to utilize, to present, to educate, to train, to coach, to teach, to train you guys on how to use Google Alerts for your personal information versus your business information, because you should all have Google Alerts set up so that when people are out here Googling you, why am I saying Google? Because it's the biggest, most robust platform out here. Everybody know what a Google and a Gmail is. A Google, a Gmail, a YouTube, they all owned by the same individual on the same platform, the largest. So you need to know how to leverage and utilize it to your best advantage. This is what your scripting will do. So by the time it gets to the end of all it's doing, and it lets you see what it's doing while it's doing it, baby. Okay? And then I'll say, wait, I didn't ask you to develop the landing page. I asked you to develop me a blueprint on how to do it. You're absolutely right. And then it retrains itself. The mastery training I saw just looks great, right? And then it can say, perfect, I understand now. You can have these conversations with your mentors. Then it drops everything into the slides for me so I can pull it out of here and put it into my own into Canva, because I want to edit it so it can look more like your BrandMaster, not specifically like, a generic corporate presentation. But so should I need to come out of my branding and go to a corporate, I do have it available for that. It gives me the mastery. It gave me the actual editable Google documents. So if there are different things I know I need to open and change, I can do that, right? This is how you are available to utilize your assistant, your AI, to level up. Do not be afraid of AI. It can't do what you don't tell it to do. It can only make you better, especially if you're operating with positive, intentional actions and activity on your side. So I know that is a very wide range of information I discussed with you guys on today, but it is how I set up the content and the scripting inside of my GHL account. I actually stream live and I ad lib all throughout all of the content to continue to make it me and who I be and what I do and who I am. And I keep it as country professional as you get it, right? Because I'm that transparent. So again, I hope this has been of great assistance for you, that it works well for you, that you will be able to understand when you are out here and you are putting out content, that you are thinking about the end result, and that's the customer. That when I went through, and I'll show you this specific checklist in just a moment, because I think I brought it up at the beginning, where when it was time to set up the content for the emergency brand fix-it kit, I made sure that there was an introduction, that there was a welcome, that I acknowledge what the problems are throughout the entire document and what the promise and quick solutions were. The number one reason why your brand isn't converting, the 3-point brand clarity, or the 5 things now that you need to have inside of your entire business to make sure that your people know what it is. And what is that? That is the clarity. That is the consistency. That is the conversion. That is the connection, right? You want to make sure that all 5 things are present in moving forward. And the credibility, I apologize, I left one out. You want to make sure that all 5 things are moving forward, right? I make sure that you understand what the next steps are. Tell again who I am quickly, give you a call to action for what it is that you need to do next, right? And then when it's time to move into what the next is, I even ask for a script for that to make sure that I'm staying organized. Because you can get on some of these calls and you can have a good time and you can completely get off script. And if it's a 15-minute call, you're pretty upset when you're beyond that 15 minutes, because now it's going to run all your booking behind. So then I say, hey, even on the 15-minute call, give me a checklist. I'm going to welcome and set the agenda. I'm going to go through the client's current situation and their challenges. I'm going to identify the core problems that are here and provide some insight on how to fix them. And if you'd like to transition to a more in depth call, here is what I have available. What are those call to actions and next steps? Which sounds best? What are we going to do next? Right? You want to make sure that you're always operating inside of industry infuse, expert level, marketplace needed content and scripts. And that's how you will continue to attract people to you that need your value, your vision, and your voice. Thank you for your time on today. I greatly appreciate it. We will be closing out this segment with step number 6 on next week, and in step number 6 on next week, because you guys know step number 0 is where we started, was putting all this together. We're going to talk about creating marketing and outreach strategies and what that looks like. We have an entire checklist that is available for that one. That one might get a little lengthy, but we're going to do our best to keep it, as concise as possible within our 5 things framework, where we're going to talk about email, SMS, social media platform collaborations, and a little bit about ads on that one as far as creating marketing and outreach strategies. Thank you again for your time on today. If you like this video, like it. If you love it, go ahead and comment below with questions that you may have. And of course, select the bell so that you can get notifications each and every time we go live. So for the next 2 minutes, sit back, relax, and enjoy this outro introduction so you can understand who the BrandMaster is, what we do here on the YouTube channel, and why we are your BrandMaster and your expert and the one you need to work with.
Hey y'all, hey, BrandMaster Martina Britt Yelverton here, speaking directly to my 50 plus professionals with an incredible area of expertise, yet you're still struggling to attract premium clients who actually value your experience. Guess what? You're in the right place, because here at the age of 53, I've made a strategic decision to focus my 2 decades of value exclusively on helping experienced professionals like us transform our expertise into personal, profitable brands. Here's what's different about this approach. I don't treat you like a beginner. We leverage together your decades of experience as competitive advantages, not obstacles. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, I provide content on YouTube specifically designed for 50-plus professionals transitioning into no gatekeeping entrepreneurship. You'll get behind-the-scenes access to my methodology, real client case studies, and practical strategies that you can implement right now. But here's where it gets even gooder, as I say. You're not just watching from the sidelines. I'm building a foundational community exclusively for the stuck and struggling, and as a founding active member, you'll get direct access to me, my framework, and we build your profitable brand together. Plus, through our strategic partnerships, founding members get access to daily support meetings at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. This gives you consistent professional guidance, a proven 4-hour workday strategy expert, and network opportunities right within our community. If you need more personalized guidance, I regularly bring founding members live into Zoom or Streamyard as guests for real-time Q&A, strategy sessions, and collaborative problem solving. It's like having a personal brand strategist at the ready. But for my serious 50-plus professionals who are ready for an intensive transformation, our VIP days will provide complete brand development and delivery in a single intensive session. Your expertise deserves premium positioning. Your experience is your competitive advantage. So yes, join the founding community, engage in our live sessions, and let's build the profitable personal brand that you deserve. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in our founding community. Yes,